vermerkten Tatverdächtigen. Sie sind damit ungefähr um den Faktor 3,4 bei Gewaltdelikten überrepräsentiert. Wenn das, was ich hier gerade wiedergegeben habe, der Befund ist, liebes Team von ZAP, dann ist dafür eine misslungene Migrationspolitik ursächlich. Was denn sonst? Sie wäre im kriminalistischen Sinne nämlich gelungen, wenn man diese Überrepräsentationen eben nicht verzeichnen müsste, was wir ja an der Stelle hier gerade tun. Da ich aber weiß, dass ihr das wisst, glaube ich, dass ihr mich vorsichtig ausgedrückt einfach nur verarschen wollt. Den richtigen Bären aber, meine lieben Freunde, den möchte man uns nämlich jetzt aufbinden.
Die PKS ist vielmehr ein Arbeitsbericht der Polizei, also eine Sammlung über Anzeigen. Fälle, die der Polizei nicht bekannt waren, sind auch nicht im Bericht.
Das ist auf so vielen Ebenen einfach vollkommen falsch, Alter. Die PKS vermerkt nicht Anzeigen, wie hier behauptet, sondern Tatverdächtige. Das heißt, wenn ich eine Straftat anzeige und die finden keine Tatverdächtige nach ihren Ermittlungen, dann ist diese Straftat nicht in dieser Statistik. Denn tatverdächtig wird man eben erst nach Abschluss, ich mache es nochmal deutlich, nach Abschluss der polizeilichen Ermittlungen. Das heißt, die finden einen, der aller Wahrscheinlichkeit nach der Tatverdächtige ist. Das geschieht aufgrund von Hinweisen, die durch die polizeiliche Ermittlung zusammengetragen werden. Und damit ist die PKS eine sogenannte Ausgangsstatistik. Sie enthält somit endbearbeitete Straftaten, deren Akten an die Staatsanwaltschaft übergeben worden sind. Denn die ermitteln nur, wenn es überhaupt einen Tatverdächtigen gibt. Das war also gerade eine dreiste, von mir finanzierte Falschinformation vom sogenannten Goldstandard des Journalismus höchstpersönlich. Denn wäre das eine Sammlung von Anzeigen, dann könnte man ja diese Statistik durch Anzeigen willkürlich manipulieren und sie würde absolut gar nichts aussagen. Und na, das ist nun mal nicht der Fall.
Und ganz wichtig, die PKS ist keine Statistik über Verurteilungen.
Ja, das ist sie genauso wenig wie eine Statistik über Anzeigen und das weiß jeder, der lesen kann. Wobei auch das keine gute Relativierung darstellt, weil wir eben auch bei Verurteilungen, zum Beispiel bei Mord, nahezu die gleichen Überrepräsentationen beobachten können. So stellten 13,1% Ausländer in Deutschland 44,4% der verurteilten Mörder. Das ist eine mehr als dreifache Überrepräsentation. Das deckt sich mit der Überrepräsentation aus der aktuellen PKS. Dort ist sie nämlich ungefähr bei 3. Also da tut sich nicht viel. Die liebe Nile von ZAP hat jetzt aber ein ganz, ganz böses Beispiel für die Verzerrung dieser Statistik für uns vorbereitet.
Die PKS ist keine Statistik über Verurteilungen. In der Bild heißt es aber fälschlicherweise, mehr als jeder dritte Verurteilte ist Ausländer.
Die blöd. Die blöd hat wieder populistisch blöde Falschinformationen verbreitet. Okay, dann schauen wir doch mal in den Artikel. Und da steht doch schon direkt unter dem Titelbild, dass es sich um Zahlen zu Verurteilungen aus dem Jahr 2023 handelt. Und nicht 2024. Das ist eine andere Zahl. Dieser Artikel bezieht sich also augenscheinlich nicht mal auf die PKS 2024, sondern auf eine, wie man ja lesen kann, wenn man lesen will, Sonderauswertung des Statistischen Bundesamtes zum Thema, Zitat, verurteilte Straftäter, die der AfD-Bundestagsabgeordnete René Springer in Auftrag gegeben hat. Zu einem Überfluss stammt der Artikel dazu auch noch aus dem Februar dieses Jahres, während die neue PKS erst seit dem 2. April 2024 überhaupt veröffentlicht ist. Also nicht nur bezahle ich hier also zwangsweise Geld für Desinformation, die Desinformation ist dazu noch so stümperhaft hingerotzt, dass ich zu dem Schluss kommen muss, dass die Journalismuskritiker von ZAP es nicht einmal zustande bringen, das Datum unter der Überschrift zu lesen, während das bekannte Datum sogar in dem Screenshot zu sehen ist, den man hier einblendet. Ich mache es kurz. Schämt euch einfach. Schämt euch.
Ganz generell sollten wir die PKS-Zahlen zu nicht-deutschen Tatverdächtigen kritisch betrachten. Denn daraus können ganz schnell falsche Eindrücke entstehen.
Ja, wie ihr diese Statistik kritisch betrachtet, haben wir ja gerade gesehen. Aber keine Sorge, Freunde, ein Hammerargument, das die Rechtspopulisten in Grund und Boden stampft, hat sie natürlich noch für uns auf Lager. Film ab.
Die PKS wirft alle Menschen ohne deutschen Pass in einen Topf.
Schlimmer noch, ich meine, das soll die Kritik sein, die PKS wirft auch alle mit deutschem Pass in einen Topf, auch die Deutschen, die kein Wort Deutsch sprechen. Was dann dazu führt, dass erst lustige AfD-Anfragen nach den Vornamen der Täter auch das Feld derer unter den Deutschen erhellen, die einen Migrationshintergrund haben. Mit weiteren Turbo-Einbürgerungen, so wie sie ja unter anderem die SPD forcieren möchte, wird damit die Statistik der deutschen Straftäter Jahr für Jahr weniger aussagekräftig. Ein Schelm würde vermuten, genau das ist dann auch unter anderem der Zweck des Ganzen. Und natürlich können wir uns auch noch differenzieren interessiert, einzelne Nationalitäten anschauen. Diese Tabellen werden ja mitgeliefert. Also dass hier einfach alle Nicht-Deutschen in einen Topf geworfen werden, das ist, wenn überhaupt, nur richtig, wenn man Deutsche und Nicht-Deutsche ohne weitere Differenzierung miteinander vergleicht.
Das können Touristen sein oder aber Täter, die hier gefasst wurden, aber im Ausland leben, also nicht in Deutschland. Sie alle werden in der PKS gleichermaßen erfasst.
Ah, es sind sie wieder, die guten alten Touristen oder Täter, die netterweise nur für die Straftat hier hingekommen sind und dann wieder weggehen. Ja, was daran würde diese Straftaten denn ungeschehen oder weniger schlimm machen, wenn sie von einem Touristen begangen wird oder von einem australischen Austauschstudenten? Wenn nur Touristen und Ausländer, die hier nicht wohnen, Straftaten begehen würden, liebes ZAP-Team, dann hätten wir trotzdem ein monumentales Problem der Ausländerkriminalität. Aber auch anhand der Zahlen scheitert dieses Argument an der Realität. Es ist einfach wieder falsch, wie jedes andere Argument, was diese Dame hier vorgebracht hat. So stellt die PKS auch die tatverdächtigen Belastung der deutschen und nicht-deutschen Wohnbevölkerung ab 8 Jahren dar. Ich glaube, das bedeutet, dass die hier wohnen und sind damit dann also auch keine Touristen. Und siehe da, Beispiel Mord, 0,8 tatverdächtige Deutsche pro 100.000 gegen 2,4 tatverdächtige Nicht-Deutsche pro 100.000. Auch ohne Touristen eine Überrepräsentation um den Faktor 3. Ich glaube, damit haben wir dieses Argument dann offiziell begraben.
Studien zeigen außerdem, dass Menschen eher etwas zur Anzeige bringen, wenn sie denken, dass der mutmaßliche Täter Ausländer ist.
Ah, da haben wir als Gesamtgesellschaft mal wieder rassistisch versagt. Ist schon klar, ne? Wenn ich als Frau werde, dann denke ich mir, oh nein, der Täter war deutsch, dann lieber doch nicht anzeigen. Also es wird immer lächerlicher, meine lieben Freunde, zumal Offizialsdelikte wie Mord. Ja? Da ermittelt die Polizei sowieso, ob du es anzeigst oder nicht. Und gut, in der Regel kann das der Geschädigte dann ja nicht. Er wurde ja, ihr wisst schon, ermordet. Und trotzdem sehen wir dieselben Überrepräsentationen wie bei anderen Straftaten. Also nicht nur leidet die innere Sicherheit durch diese Zuwanderung, durch diese Migration, auch die Deutschen leiden. Jetzt wird uns aber in diesem Argument implizit dann noch die Schuld an den offiziellen Zahlen gegeben, weil wir so rassistisch anzeigen würden. Also nicht nur, dass diese Leute uns offenbar irgendwie hassen, was ist da überhaupt dran? Sie zitiert hier das sogenannte Niedersachsen-Survey 2022. Also sie zitiert es nicht mal, sie macht einfach diese Aussage und gibt darunter die Quelle an. Ich verlinke euch das mal in der Videobeschreibung. Und meine lieben Freunde,
Trump is hiking tariffs to China 125%, authorizes a 90-day pause on tariffs for everybody else. So I'll go ahead and I'll see if I can pull that up, and we'll look at it and see what he's saying.
And that's what I did with China, because they did retaliate. So we'll see how it all works out. I think it's going to work out amazing. I think that our country is going to be at the end of a year or shorter, but I think we're going to have something that nobody would have dreamt possible. A man like Roger Penske, I don't want to get him in trouble with China, so I won't, but he would know that you have to, someday you have to cut the bow and you have to do what you have to do, right, Roger? And that's what I did, and I'm very happy to have done it.
Yeah, Mr. President,
Was there anyone
the Prime Minister of Greece just told Breitbart's Matt Boyle that he thinks absolutely the European Union and the United States could work out a trade deal that's win-win and, quote, mutually beneficial to both sides. What do you think about the Prime Minister's comments, and do you think a deal could be struck with the European Union?
First of all, I know him, he's a good man, and I appreciate his comments. Yeah, a deal could be made with every one of them. A deal's going to be made with China. A deal's going to be made with every one of them, and there'll be fair deals. I just want fair. They will be fair deals for everybody, but they weren't fair to the United States. They were sucking us dry, and you can't do that. You know, we have $36 trillion of debt for a reason. We don't have it there for fun. They have it for a reason, and people took advantage of our country.
That's right.
They ripped us off for decades. I've been thinking about this for decades. If you ever saw me on television, I was young like these guys. And it was the good old days, I'll tell you, Roger. But I was like these guys, young, and I was talking about it. Nothing changed, and nothing was done about it. Then I did it. In my first term, I did it, and did it well. We took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China and others. And I started the process, but then we had to fix up from the COVID mess caused by China. We had to fix up from that, and we did a good job of doing it. And when we handed back the reins after a rigged election, and when we handed back the reins, the stock market was higher than it was before COVID coming in. So, you know, we did a great job, but we didn't have time to do the big thing,
Here we go.
which we're doing now. And it's, you know, it's like a patient is sick, you have to do surgery. Patient is very, very sick. And Joe Biden handed us over a country that was in very serious trouble, economically and in every other way. They let China run away with things. They let other countries run away with things. And maybe worst of all, in a certain way, is what they did at the border. We had people pouring into our country by the millions.
Every time.
Many of them were murderers and
The
drug
greatest
lords
hits,
and
yep.
thieves and people from prisons from all over the world. And there were people from mental institutions, insane asylums. They were taking their mentally insane, and they were dumping them into our country.
I just got a bingo.
And I'll tell you, Tom Homan and Kristi Noem are doing a fantastic job in removing them. And now the courts, the Supreme Court just gave us
It's crazy how
numerous good rulings where we have to be able to get them out. You had other judges trying to take over.
It's crazy
the
how we
system.
got here so fast.
And think of it, they take over. They want these people coming back. Tren de Aragua from Venezuela, the Venezuela jails
Just-
that cut off the fingers of a man in Colorado. They cut off his fingers because he called the police looking for help. They said, "Did you call the police?" He said, "Yes, I did." Put your hand down, and they cut off the fingers. This is what they want to bring these people back now. And I want to thank the president of El Salvador for the job he's done, because that's the way it has to be done. It's too bad. Yeah, please.
Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, they've been talking about tariffs for decades. How come when these Democrat elites want tariffs, everything's hunky-dory, but when President Trump wants tariffs, all hell breaks loose? Do you see this double standard?
I love this guy. Whoever the hell that is.
What a glazer.
That's really nice. I appreciate that question.
Oh,
no, Chuck
geez.
Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, everybody knew you had to do it, but they never had the guts to do it. It does take guts. It even takes guts for our country to go through it. That's why I say be cool. They were saying about, see, just be cool. It's going to work out. It's going to work out, and it's working out. I can tell you, working out maybe faster than I thought. But I said it's going to take a little conditioning. It's a transition to. It's really, I think it's a transition to greatness. It's going to be greatness.
Wow.
Our country is going to be. There'll be
Okay.
nothing like it, and people investing in our country, they're
pretty
going to do
good.
better than they've ever done before. We have more car manufacturers, Roger, coming into our country now. Speaking of cars. We've never seen anything like it. And they're coming in because of the election, but they're coming in because of the tariffs, because they don't want to pay 25 or 50 or whatever it may be. They don't want to pay that. They can't pay that. We had 3 cancellations in Mexico, building a plant.
Yeah.
They're all coming into the United States.
What a surprise.
Canada, they're coming in. From China, they're coming in from everywhere.
They're roaching out.
And that's just cars.
All right.
We have chip makers coming. We're the biggest chip maker in the world from Taiwan, coming in, spending $3 billion to build plants, and mostly a big plant. This is a hell of a plant when you spend the kind of money that they're going to go $200 to $300 billion, not million. You know, you'd say million would be the right number. It's not $200 to $300 billion.
That's a lot.
$billion. Think of that. $300 billion. Yeah, if you look at Apple, Apple is going to spend $500 billion building a plant. They wouldn't be doing that if I didn't do this. They'd just keep building them in China.
That's
and that's
probably true.
unsustainable. It's not a pleasant thing to do,
Yeah.
but I appreciate the question. And, you know, interestingly, Chuck Schumer and Nancy
Oh, there we
Pelosi,
go.
Crazy Nancy, they've wanted to do this for years, but they never had a
Crazy
president
Nancy.
that had the guts to do it, because it does take guts, believe me.
Oh, is that a new one?
Markets that persuaded you to reverse
No, I
course?
was watching the bond market. The bond market is very tricky. I was watching it, but if you look at it now, it's beautiful. The bond
Yeah.
market right now is
Wow.
beautiful. But yeah, I saw last night where people were getting a little queasy. I think everything had. Well, the big move wasn't what I did today. The big move was what I did on Liberation Day. We had Liberation Day in America. We're liberated from all of the horrible
From
deals
China.
that were made, all of the horrible trade deals
Yeah.
that were made. And I was helped by people just like this, senator, congressman, and friends, right? And we had great help in the Senate. Our Republican senators have been amazing. They stood tall. And likewise in the House. And John Thune has done an amazing job. Barrasso has done an amazing job. I mean, I can't
Bro, they
think of a
haven't got him
senator.
yet?
Really. We had tremendous support. We got a bill passed
Jeez,
the
these
other day
police
with
can't
almost
catch 'em.
unanimous support in the Senate. And I think we're going to get that in the House too. And I have to tell you that Mike Johnson is a great speaker. He's done a fantastic job. We had a majority of 1, now we have a majority of 7. And you don't realize how big 7 is until you have a majority of 1. 7 sounds like so much. But we're doing well. But Mike Johnson and John Thune have done a really great job.
Mr. President, was there anyone who influenced your decision? Did you speak with anyone, you know, Jamie Dimon? Did you speak with anyone?
Well, I watched Jamie Dimon on Maria Bartiromo's show this morning, and he was very good. He said that actually made the statement to effect that something had to be done with the tariffs and trade. He said that. He said, look, you know, at some point, but he said something has to be done with tariffs and trade. He understood it. He's very smart and very genius financially. He's done a fantastic job at the bank. And he knows that. Everybody knows that. Anybody that's even a little bit smart knows it. It wasn't sustainable what was happening. Somebody had to pull the trigger. I was willing to pull the trigger. This should have been done long ago. Just like Biden should have stopped the border long ago. I mean, allowed 21 million people plus into our country, many of whom should never have been allowed out of prisons and jails. They came out of prisons and jails from all over the world. And now we're getting them out, bringing them back to their countries. But it should have never been done. Yeah, go ahead, please.
The TikTok.
Would you consider exempting some U.S. companies, maybe some larger companies who have been hit hard in the markets the last few days during this 90 days?
As time goes by, we're going to take a look at it. There are some that have been hard. There are some that, by the nature of the company, get hit a little bit harder, and we'll take a look at that. Yeah. Just instinctively, more than anything else. I mean, you almost can't take a pencil to paper. It's really more of an instinct, I think, than anything else.
Okay. Because you said that these tariffs would go into effect on Monday. You said no pause. Today there is a pause. So how can people believe your words today?
It's not a question of that. You have to have flexibility. I could say, here's a wall, and I'm going to go through that wall. I'm going to go through it no matter what, and keep going, and you can't go through the wall. Sometimes you have to be able to go under the wall, around the wall, or over the wall.
China.
These guys know that better than anybody, right? You got to go around them sometimes. You're not going to go through them. So I consider, you know, I think in financial markets, because they change. Look how much it changed today. We went from, you know, pretty moderate today, but over the last few days it looked pretty glum, to, I guess they say it was the biggest day in financial history. That's a pretty big change.
Wow.
And I think the word would be flexible. You have to be flexible. Like he's asking the question about some companies. Some companies, through no fault of their own, they happen to be in an industry that is more affected by these things than others. You have to be able to show a little flexibility. And I'm able to do that. I'm going to say hello to these champions because they are great champions. I got to say hello.
He's going F1 racing after this. We're gonna go in if he gets in one of those cars and lets somebody, there's like no way that happens, right? I mean, there's no way the Secret Service would let that happen. But it would be crazy if they did. It would be really crazy. But yeah. Everything's computer, maybe, right? It looks like that might be it in terms of the responses, at least for now. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So there it is. Okay, well then that's a little aside. All right, we'll get to that. I apologize. I don't like kind of slopping back and forth, but since things are live, I try to watch them as soon as possible. I feel like it's always, I mean, this is always how it is, right? Where whenever it's something that's beneficial for him, we talk about the stock market. Whenever it's not beneficial, he's not even looking at it, right? I mean, this is just, I mean, I feel like I've seen this go, I've seen this a number of times, right?
It's nice to see a cute cat after the interview. Yep. This is popping off in that interview. Yeah, let's wait for the changes, lol.
I just want to kill a white mob!
I, along with many others, were not expecting a nerf to just how the campaign felt in general, right? In the last interview I heard, it really sounded like the intention was to target things at the top end. But there were so many things that nerfed us during the campaign here. And
well, the thing I would say about that.
I would like to finish.
Sure. Okay.
God. Wait, why did? Oh my God! Oh no! Oh no! Holy shit, dude!
Sure. Okay.
A lot of people are really wondering about the long-term direction for the game with that in mind, because they were also.
The thing I would say about that.
I would like to finish.
Sure. Okay.
A lot of people are really wondering about the long-term direction of the campaign.
Dude, I need a support group for this, guys.
Well, that one I will have to look at specific cases, right? Because like that comes down to.
Oh my god!
Okay, so like we already did something about that, right? Where we like nerfed monster life.
It was too much, dude.
We'd have to nerf monster life again if that's still a problem.
It's
like,
true though. You shouldn't interrupt people, man. It's rude.
But the thing is that like. As I said, like the first thing we heard when everyone was saying this, the first thing we thought was like, what the hell? We didn't even nerf the campaign. Like literally, that's what all the developers were saying. We didn't nerf this. Why is everyone saying we nerfed it?
I mean, there were some blatant ups.
Yeah.
Like speaking bluntly, right? Like the minion change was just bad.
And when you say the minion change, are you referring to the Rare minions are